Hello, I'm Jimmy Frost. I'm the model shipwright here at Original Benjamin's Restaurant in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Thank you for coming. This is my shop here at the restaurant. You're welcome to come downstairs and say hello. Take a look at this incredible mess that I have in front of you. We're going to take a tour and walk around and look at some of the giants that live here. This is the largest collection of large model ships anywhere in the world. What you're going to see here, you will not find at any other restaurant in the world. I personally guarantee it. Let's go on a tour. I'm going to show you some beautiful models. Some I restored, some I built. All of them are here for your pleasure. I do not know what any of them are worth. I just build them. So let's go upstairs and take a look at some real giants. As you come in, you are greeted by the royal lady herself, the Queen Elizabeth. She was built in Clydebank, Scotland in 1936 through 1940. She was used as a troop transport ship at the beginning of World War II, carrying our troops to and from. God bless them all. She's 1,031 feet long, 118 feet wide. She had 4 steam engines turning 4 screws. She could cruise up to a speed of 28 knots. It's about 34 miles an hour. She was fast, opulent, speed, elegance of the 1930s. This model is a 1/48 scale model. That means she's 30 feet long. 1 foot equals 48 feet. She is a fiberglass model. I did not build this one. I restored this one. It took just under a year for me to take it apart, fix it, put it all back together, and then add a few things. So here she is at 30 feet long, and she's about 3 feet wide. And I was very happy to do this one in 1998. We believe this model came from Southampton, England in the late 70s when fiberglass became more and more useful on production scales instead of specialty items. So here she is, and enjoy. The 1930s, the golden age of yacht racing, the America's Cup Yachts. These are the most beautiful sailing vessels I've seen to date. They were the true greyhounds of their day. They're 120 feet on deck average. They would cruise at around 20 knots. They were incredibly fast. They don't build them like this anymore. Our second giant that greets you when you come into the restaurant is the Mayflower. It's a 1/3 scale model of the real ship. Imagine sailing on this across the ocean. It's built by Warner Brothers in 1952 for the movie Plymouth Adventure starring Spencer Tracy and Lloyd Bridges. It won an award for special effects. She has over 3,500 feet of line on her, rope, for the rigging. All of it works to the best of my studies. She's properly rigged for the year 1620. This is the first giant that I restored for the restaurant. I did this one in 1995. It took 3 months to redo this one. This was an easy one, believe it or not. Painting it took the longest amount of time. It was a joy to do this one. Gets a little crowded up there with all of the ropes, but it's a beautiful 1/3 scale model, and I hope y'all do enjoy this. As you walk through the restaurant, you're going to find original items everywhere. We want you to see something new, something original. Wherever you look, it is original. That is why we call ourselves Original Benjamins, because what you see here came off of ships. 99% of it, sure, there's a couple of reproduction parts here and there, but for the most part, everything you see in here is original. Another giant, the Queen Elizabeth II. She was also built at the Clydebank Yards in Scotland. This is another 1/48 scale model. She is 18 feet long. The actual ship was 963 feet. She had 2 steam engines turning 2 screws at the same speed as the Queen Elizabeth I at the front entrance. She could do it about 28 knots, 32, 35 miles an hour. She was built in 1968 through 69. She received her commission. She is in Qatar right now as a hotel/convention center. She no longer goes out to sea, but she still is in existence. And this one took me 2 years to build and finish. Somebody else started the hull on this particular project. They did not finish it. We found the hull in Atlanta about 8 years ago. And then I finished everything. And here she is. And there are a few secrets in this one. There are secrets in all of the models here at the restaurant. But this one, I really enjoy doing this one. I always have more to do to them. You can see that I still have the lifeboats, the life rafts, and everything to build. So she's coming along. A little bit more needs to be done to her. I'll get to it as soon as I can. But here she is, and I hope every time you see this model that you see something that you haven't seen previously. So that's what I love about these, is the amount of detail that can go into them. And I always want you to try and find something new that you haven't seen. So here, this one is another giant, and there's more to come. This is a lovely model from the Malcolm Forbes collection. We found this one several years ago, purchased it, and brought it here. It is the ship Comet. She was a China tea trader. She had a very successful career sailing from New York all the way to China and back. This tea clipper's name was Comet. She was later sold to a British firm that renamed her Fiery Star. She was built in 1874 and a very fast clipper ship. This is a paper model of the Battleship North Carolina. The actual ship is in Wilmington, just north of here if you wish to see the real thing. But this is a paper model. I do not know who built it, but I cleaned it up, fixed a couple of things on it, and here it is for your viewing. This is a kit that you can get at some hobby stores. I do not know who the original builder is. It is a gunboat of the Vietnam era. I took it apart, fixed it, added some new handrails and a fresh coat of paint, and the proper size guns that she carried on board are now on this model. So she is now historically accurate. This is the ship Fletcher. She is of the Fletcher class destroyers. World War II ship. She was very fast. This is a kit that you can also find at some hobby stores. It is a remote control model. There's radio equipment in this. You can set it in the water and run it around. She is built out of wood. The camo paint scheme on the hull is accurate from photographs from the actual ship. The superstructure is all improvised, but this is a lovely remote controlled model that will really cut through the water. This one is a lot of fun to sail. Inka, one of my favorite models. These are made from drawings. Just hand me a drawing of something and tell me how big it's to be. This one, everything on this is handmade. The sails are made of paper. There is a lot of history in this one. You can see the evolution of the sails are starting to change. By this sail here is different than the others. This is the first time that the triangular shaped sails that we know of today made its first appearance is here. Inka was built in 1896 on the west coast of America. You could tell she was a west coast ship because of this aft sail being a triangular shape. You could spot them at any distance. It's a 5-masted schooner. She carried lumber. She had a very successful life. Launched in 1896, November 11th to be exact. She ran aground December 7th, 1920 in Australia. Everybody was safe, no hardships other than losing the ship, which she was salvaged. So, as I said, there are secrets in all of the models. One secret is that's me standing on board the vessel. I don't particularly care to put my name on my work anymore. It's not about me. So I'll hide a little image of me somewhere aboard most of these models. But this is truly one of my favorites. She's just a beautiful sailing ship. You don't see this rig very often. Yes, you'll see the ship's models with the square sails, but not many like this. I have to be different, and I like them big. Everybody builds small models. This is the house of where the giants live. There are giants throughout this restaurant. This restaurant will be the largest collection of large model ships anywhere in the world. If you can find another restaurant with as much that we have to offer and to show you, land of the giants live here at Original Benjamin's restaurant in Myrtle Beach. We're back in my workshop downstairs here at the restaurant. This is Hunter. She was built in 1874 in Bath, Maine. She was an East Coast trader, hauled everything that she could possibly store in her holds, and she had a very nice long career. She is built from drawings. It takes about 5 months for me to build one this size. The giants upstairs can take a couple of years. But this one's ready to go in her glass case. As soon as some lights are in the glass case, I'm going to move her to the glass case, and we're going to put another giant right here, which you will soon see. So this one is done. She's ready to go on display, and you will see some other models around her that I also enjoy building. I'm also a World War I aviation enthusiast, and I have plenty of those to see as well. The kids really get a kick out of those. Here's another giant coming. We're going to do 2 of these. As soon as that red schooner is in her glass case, we're going to bring in another one of these for her place. This is the 7-masted schooner Thomas W. Lawson, built in 1909. She tells a very sad story, a very sad story. She broke apart south of England in a storm, killed everybody but the cook. But this was the the only 7-masted schooner ever built. And how big was too big? This was too big. Here's a photograph of her, of what she's going to look like when I'm done with it. But it's another giant coming here, and I'm really looking forward to getting busy with this one. This one should take right at 1 year for me to build. And again, everything is made from drawings. We're behind the restaurant now, alongside the Intercoastal Waterway. This is going to be the largest model of the 1938 America's Cup Yacht, Ranger. This is a Sparkman Stevens design, designed by the same Sparkman Stevens company that designed Ranger. She was built in 1940. It's a 1938 design, the same as Ranger. So this is going to be the world's largest model of the America's Cup Yacht, Ranger. This is another giant. She's a half-scale model of a 120-foot ship designed in 1797. She sailed with the USS Constitution as a backup support vessel. This is a brig of war. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of this summer in 2017. I have all of the trim to put on it and then the rigging. 11 guns go on either side of her. She was a fighting small ship that would sail with the USS Constitution, and here she is, a brig of war. Thank you for coming to Myrtle Beach. Thank you for visiting Original Benjamin's Restaurant. You're always welcome here. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the giants. This is where the giants live. So please enjoy yourself. There's a lot for you to see here. Enjoy the food, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the deck, the waterway, the breeze. Just come to Myrtle Beach and enjoy yourself. Thank you so very much for giving me this time with you, and please stop by and say hello. Thank you.